This video is made for adult collectors because holy hell, this thing is glorious. Holy, how in the flying hell in the flaming pants did they manage to pull the... Have I crossed the threshold yet? Have I crossed it yet? Yes? Are you sure? It's been 12 seconds? Or is it 15? Or is it 30? I can't remember. Yes, okay. Holy fucking shit, how did they manage to make this look so damn good? This is G Creations Grimlock. It shares nothing with the Studio Series. This came out 3 years ago, but it still holds up. This is a more Studio Series related deco versus the original's more lighter gray, but I much prefer this like swamp deco. It looks fantastic. This thing, I was lost for words when I got this thing standing up because it comes packaged as like a flattened chicken. It looks immaculate. It does have flaws, but come on. This was sent to me by TF Safari, by the way. Yes, just like the last video and the next one, but that's it for the month. I got my TF Safari toys all in like the same time, and I have to make these videos because I'm currently in England at the moment, so you're getting TF Safari videos for this week. They have a wide range of knockoff and third-party stuff with the occasional official item from Hashtag, and they have this guy for a discount of $160 US, which I think is well worth it, but I'll tell you why in a little bit. Also, obligatory combiner. I want it. I will have one day. They have a lot of different stuff for you to check out for surprisingly a bit cheaper than most places, which is awesome and crazy affordable shipping. And if you use discount code THATTOYGUYSPECIAL 3% off, I still know, you save an extra couple dollars on any purchase, which is always nice. Thank you so much for sponsoring today's video though, and now on to the actual toy. This is a big boy dinosaur. It's very screen accurate with lots of nice mechanical detailing that I'm just gonna macro lens pan around and show you exactly how nice it looks. It's like Unique Toys Nero levels of CGI model in my hand feel, which is awesome because I love that toy's look, but I hate handling it. This I can say though, is not harmful to handle like Nero. This feels great in hand, it's very chunky and weighty thanks to some well-placed die cast, and it's very dense and secure, nothing feels like it's gonna untab mostly. There are a couple of little bits underneath that move around a lot, and sometimes the hip skirt can get undone. And getting things tabbed into alt mode can be a bit meh if you don't get everything lined up just right. But once you do, it looks glorious. Now he does come with accessories. You get a hand mace, a handle for his other mace, and an entire Optimus Prime. This tiny little Prime is painted so well, sculpted, is just like, it's all on point for something that's only a couple inches tall. It does not transform, but it is so posable and super dynamic for how small it is. It's amazing. So with this little guy being so little, you would probably expect his articulation to be just kind of meh. But this articulates just like a Marvel Legends toy. And it's about this bit. Well, here he is, right? Here's the Voyager. That's how, and then Grimlock. That's how... Monkey fell over. He poses quite well. Now the sword does store on the back, and so does the shield. However, it's really unfortunate that the sword doesn't plug into the shield, so you can only store one at a time. I feel like that's a missed opportunity to just drill a hole in there and then just go bloop, but whatever. So the head is on a ball joint, a very nice ball joint with not so much range up and down, but enough range left and right and tilt. Shoulders can rotate, the shoulder pads are on hinges. The shoulder can go out about that far on a hinge in the torso and in the actual arm itself, which that's nice. You got bicep rotation, you have 90 degrees of bend at the elbow, you have wrist rotation, you have an ab crunch, so crunch is about that far forward and that far back, which is not bad. You have a waist joint, which is just a peg,
So a lot of times where I gotta pick this guy up off Grimlock, I take the upper torso with me. But now you can go, I want two. Hip skirt moves up. You got forward leg rotation, out of focus. It can go back that far. They can go out about that far. You do have thigh rotation, single jointed knee, and then the ankles can go up, they can go down. He does have ankle pivot and ankle rotation. So he is very, very posable because he doesn't have to transform. And then we can just like plug the shield in, plug so the shield falls off, plug the shield in, actually plug it in. There we go. There you have him in a cool pose.
Now, he does have a bum hole, and you can peg it into Grimlock and ride the dinosaur, and that's amazing. However, the peg on mine has a tiny little stress mark on it, so I'm a little cautious. Like, it looks great, but posing the dinosaur, that's where it starts to get a little bit meh.
It's okay. The head can rotate about that far, left and right. You can look up and down. However, if you want more range, you slide it out. And then you have even more left and even more right, like a lot more up, way more up, and way more down. Now the jaw does open about that far, and then you pull the neck out, and then you can get it to open all the way, which is really cool. It does leave a little bit of a gap in the neck, but oh well. These can wiggle waggle. The arms can rotate, go in and out about that far. You have double jointed elbows, and then the wrists can hinge. I do kind of wish there was a bicep swivel in the middle. There is room for one, but they just didn't do it. Now the legs is where it becomes a bit So these thigh panels, they can move out of the way to accommodate for anything. The legs can rotate up a little bit. They can rotate down. No thigh rotation at all. They go out like that. That's about all you're getting. You do have clicky knee, and that's basically it. Everything else is locked in. You can unpeg the hands from the legs and get this to rotate and this to move up and down, but it's not the most stable joint in the world, and it definitely can't support the weight of this thing. So, yeah. Oh, and he does have ankle tilts. He does have ankle tilts.
So that's the dinosaur. It's super cool and super awesome. The only problems I have are the slightly squished proportions because it has to transform. Speaking of that transformation, it would seem like it would be hell, right? Because you're trying to get this into a standing robot and it's all jaggedy and pointy. But it's actually not that bad.
Now, I'm not going to walk you through the entire transformation, but I'll show you a majority of it because it's not that difficult. Well, it is when you first get it because the instructions are horrendous. I had to, again, MGO always comes to my rescue, watching an MGO video to figure this out. But it's not that hard. So to start with, I'm going to stand up. So I'm over here now. You want to unpeg these two sections at the top here, open this up, and then just lift this whole neck assembly off. Oh wait, you got to unpeg it from here too. And then pull this whole assembly off. That will become his weapon. We'll do that later. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to pull the tail up, pull the head up without getting caught on the knee pads. There we go. Actually, you know what? First, we're going to rotate these sections around and bring them down because I always forget to do that later. Here's Grimlock in chicken mode. There he is in chicken mode. Untab them from each other and then just sort of wrestle them free like that. Now, the annoying part doesn't come from the steps, it comes from maneuvering everything, because it's a lot of toy that you gotta handle. We're gonna just flip the head up for now to get it out of the way. There we go. Pull this out, rotate it, fold up the hand, and flip it inside the dinosaur leg, flip the foot down, peg this in and all together, bend that out. Toes. There's the legs all done. So that wasn't so bad. It all just moves in like chunks. Like that. And then clip the legs in under the hip skirt hinges. Fold up his pee-pee. And that's your legs. And there he is, now standing up straight. The whole thing in half. And then you want to bend this half down and this half up. And that will allow you to swing them out. Then you want to swing the jaws up, close it, and peg it all together.
fold this up and around. I just had to change batteries and I've been filming for about 6 minutes. I'm definitely not showing a whole transformation in this video. So just split the tail and then just accordion it up and peg it in like so. Open this section up, open this up, flip it around, take this section, fold it up, clip that into place, take the feet, unpeg it from the arm, rotate it, bring it in, rotate hand. He's doing the Michael Jackson lean because I'm pushing down on him. Bring the arm down. And there you go, arm. That was not horrible. And you're left with this amazing looking robot. Sure, some of the proportions are a little weird, like the large diaper section, but the majority of it is epic. Again, this new deco looks fantastic. The weathering and the oxidization color on it just works super well. And it's very clean in robot mode. The only piece of quote-unquote kibble I don't like are the bits on the side of the legs there and the dino feet sticking out of the hands. I just think they stick out a little too far, but the sheer size of this thing and this prime it comes with really shows you the in real life scale it's supposed to be. It's huge. This thing is actually slightly taller than a regular 3.0 DLX toy. It's huge. The coattails are so cool, and the way they do the double head is neat, though getting the bottom jaws lined up and tabbed in can be a bit of a hassle, and sometimes they do come out. He can hold his mace and wear the other mace on his hand, and both look epic, but the big mace is super heavy, so it doesn't stay in the hand properly and can just fall out. And this handle mace also has the issue of being too heavy at the tip, and it likes to fall off. I have almost broken a couple of things because it just fell up. It almost landed on my phone, and it almost landed on a glass of water. And both of those would have been very, very bad. So I wish that connection was a bit more secure. It's die cast at the top, that's why it falls out. So Grimlock's articulation is a bit finicky, but not as finicky as the Dinosaur mode, because he can do all the poses you want him to do. It's just moving some panels around can be a bit annoying. So the head can rotate. It can also look down. It can't look up, but it looks down. The mouth can open, and it does look weird when you open his mouth. The shoulder pads can move up and out of the way to accommodate these shoulders, which are on really soft ratchets, but they can rotate. They can go out that far. As you saw, you have an elbow bend. This does bump into this, though, sometimes, which is a bit annoying. Bicep rotation, wrist rotation, and a wrist hinge in and out, and the fingers are all posable. He does have a waist joint, which is really cool because even though this whole entire thing rotates, there's still a waist joint because of how they designed it. It's really neat, actually. Now the hips. This is where you see a lot of people put him in either static poses or like the product shots don't have him in anything dynamic because these are a bit weird, but I figured out how they work. So this front section is attached on a hinge, but it's blocked by these two pieces. So if you want to activate that, you need to take these and shift them up. Then the hip skirt moves forward. And you can bend these down to allow for even more range, so the legs can kick that far forward, and then they can go that far back, and these can move out of the way, so they ratchet out. You do have thigh rotation. You do have a little bit over 90 degrees of bend at the knee, and then ankles are on ball joints. Pretty stiff. No, it's not a ball joint. It feels like a ball joint. It's a hinge. Wow. I never actually noticed that till now. It's a hinge, not a ball joint. But yeah, that's how you use the skirting arrangement, because it can get weird. There we go. Clip it all into place. But yeah, not bad posing. Just a little awkward at first to try and figure it out. So yeah, issues aside, go get one. Again, it's like $160 US, and I'll link it below, but I definitely recommend this. It looks awesome, poses pretty okay, transforms fine, but that deco and that presence alone make it worth it to me. It looks like a Prime 1 Studios thing from most angles. And the Tiny Prime is a very, very nice inclusion, and it's just a great, fun, and visually appealing toy that a lot of times third-party companies have trouble doing. So this does it quite well. A lot of times it's either looks or transformation and not one or the other. Sometimes you get both, right, with third-party, but a lot of times it's one or the other. And this, I think, doesn't nail both, but it strikes that balance of both, and I really like it, and it's a lot of fun. And even though it's complex, I do find myself flipping it back and forth often, which is not something I do a lot of times with third-party toys because they can be complex or just a headache. This is not. So I definitely recommend getting it. But that's been my look at G Creations Wrath or Age of Extinction Grimlock. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.